Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great evening. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the Xen Optimism aftermath, so to speak. So we had been, well, at least I had been discussing some things I was going to do. Of course, all information is not financial advice, that you should do your own research, right? Also, keep in mind one of the great things I like about Zen is you can mint it technically free, right? Minus transactional fees. And of course, if done correctly, you can avoid most of those or a large portion of those. So, not unexpected, we expected to see some great rises in the gas fees in association with Xen Optimism. So these things jumped up as high, I believe, as about $9. And that prompted many of us to just go, okay, so we're going to probably end up going with strategy two, which is going to be let things settle down for a few weeks and then come in, um, and start to take your positions then. And that pretty much was the strategy I went with, right? Uh, and so, not unexpected, optimism, the native coin got to see some gains, not anything ridiculous, but it is up a little bit. Um, and so I think that's going to be the strategy going forward. Of course, I'm very excited about how this is going to play out. I thought there would be uh, maybe a little bit more excitement. And when I say excitement, I'm pretty sure everybody took their positions, and a lot of Zen community has gotten involved and started minting and such. But for some reason, a lot of the Zen content influencers, I just thought it was going to be a lot more noise about Zen optimism. So I'm not quite sure what the strategy is there. I don't know if they're still just got all their stuff together on these other chains. And um, I think that's kind of part of the issue with being on so many chains. That's one thing I don't think we discussed a lot about. Whereas the advantages of multi-chain, when I say advantages in uh, a cryptocurrency being multi-chain, I'm more so speaking about the scaling ability of that cryptocurrency, right? But when it comes to the uh, the direct value intake as such, it can be a kind of problematic, and that's why I'm looking forward to Zen, the X1 chain launching in 2024, where we can kind of focus kind of on one chain and all that value circulates back into the Zen ecosystem, right? Now, you know, Bitcoin MYK had another one of these great days. I think it's up like went up as far as like 66% today, settled down now. But to me, that's to be expected as well. Of course, we've talked about Bitcoin MYK as well being kind of like what Elon wants to do with Twitter, uh, having some design challenges a little bit with it. In that, if it's going to be like Twitter, it's going to mostly be like a blog site. But the way the algorithm works, we found this kind of niche where we can use it with music artists to kind of uh, do these these viewership earning of the tokens by when people listen to their music and such. And that's because how the algorithm works, it takes your energy, right? And we'll take you over there in a moment, just take a look at it. But it takes the activities you do throughout your social media as it converts it to cryptocurrency. And it's done so in a way like I've never seen it done before. Like many other cryptocurrency projects that have attempted it, they kind of use a tipping system, or some of the music companies that have done it. You get these little small fractions, 10 cents, 50 cents, of peanuts, money that goes nowhere. And so it's oftentimes just ends up being a waste of people's time. But when you incorporate this into cryptocurrency, that potential future value that cryptocurrency can have, because it can grow in value, it gives a lot more incentive and a lot more value to the people who are engaging in those systems. So very cool stuff. The deflationary quality of Bitcoin MYK, I think that's why we're going to continue to see some great things about it. I think a lot of people are really becoming a lot more accepting of these type platforms. Um, what else we got here? So yes, as far as Zen again, yeah, we're gonna give it a few weeks, and then we're gonna probably come in and we're gonna start to really set in place to have a great position at the end of that year to see what happens with that, to see what we get with that, right? Now, I do think over the course there's going to be some excitement. I think people are just going to see it winding down. Even people who aren't, really getting into it hard yet or talking about it hard. I think they're going to get into it as it starts to wind down. At least that's my thought process on that. I don't see why that wouldn't happen. I would think people in Zen would be quite hyped about that. But anyway, I don't want to run too long on this video tonight. Going to step over to Bitcoin MYK real quick, finish up with that a bit in this segment. All right, over here on Bitcoin MYK, and as I was saying, even if we took the approach of trying to make Bitcoin MYK feel a bit more like your title music streaming services and such, incorporating the cryptocurrency into the social network functions and features. I think the challenge we would have there is is if it's kind of now this mix between Twitter and title. You'd have that combining, and part of the issue with that, guys, is going to be a big part of the community that are bloggers. They wouldn't be able to you see what I'm saying, incorporate their blogging features um, into that, right? And so we kind of got to balance it out if we want to attract these people. Now, of course, what's cool about it is that because both the consumer of the content earns and the people putting out the content, right? So everybody earns something. And so it's important that everybody be able to participate. But whereas, and I've said this before, and it's always been this way, in platforms and projects, the interfaces, you're never going to have an interface that satisfies everybody, right? I don't care how, what you try to do. You're never going to have one that's going to satisfy everybody all the time, right? And so, so we're going to have to try to balance that. I can tell you that the platform is going to go through many evolutions. The mechanics are going to remain the same, right? You're going to always be able to earn, consume, and contact, putting out the content. This is a form of our mining. But as I've said before, we constantly get people saying this is such a great idea. We like the site. The cryptocurrency community, they things are the way cryptocurrency works. How it is. Some of the best cryptocurrency projects out there, they're just not top 10 cryptocurrencies yet. And so, that's a great mystery. One of my theories is that the big cryptocurrency gatekeepers who got most of their money in Bitcoin and Ethereum, they have kind of created a protection system to try to keep things that way. But I think the outside forces pushing on the on cryptocurrency, whether it be the economy, right? We know automation is going to take a lot of people's jobs, and it's going to be distribution systems where we're going to need things like the scissors, dividend, easier means for distribution and mining, and more importantly, participation, right? So we're going to need all those things, and so I think it's going to be one of those things where a lot of people are going to have to. It's going to be a combination of people wanting to join and some just having to join because these are just going to be the best systems put forward. So I think that's where it's going to probably end up. And so that's going to be all interesting to see. But I want to keep this under 10 minutes, and I just broke 10 minutes. So I'm going to let it go at that, guys. But right, yeah, that's our strategy for Xen Optimism. Don't forget to join Bitcoin MYK today. I think you'll be glad you did, seeing the tremendous usefulness of it as such. But that's all I want to say in this video. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.